can't believe she quit doTERRA. I mean, gosh. Another one. Oh, hey, how's it going? I was just watching a video about a woman who quit doTERRA and told her reason why. But hold on. Before you get your panties up in a bunch here, let me explain something to you. Look, people come and go with companies all the time, but I wanted to do this video in response because I got a commenter on my YouTube channel talking about it, and on top of that, this video is definitely, you know, catching a lot of eyeballs from people that are anti-MLM, for MLMs, or neutral and on the fence. And so her comment section is like a hodgepodge of all that, but I wanted to provide this video to provide the other side, right? To provide another perspective and try to approach things with a little more reasonability, as well as seeking understanding, as well as truth and some resources. So please make sure to watch this video all the way until the end. It is valuable from a mindset, skill set, and tool set standpoint. More links will be in the description so you can check that out. Now I'm going to get into the comment that started it all. Alright, so this comment comes in from Red Chevy. He's left a number of comments on my channel, but he left one saying, "Lance, come and join the discussion on the I Quit doTERRA and Why video. Great video and discussion by those that disagree and agree with MLMs. I'm sure many would welcome your input. I would certainly welcome your input, even though I mostly disagree with you. There are many current doTERRA WAs or wellness advocates that post there. Good discussion." So after I got this message, I wanted to go check it out, and here is the actual video that I'm going to show you next.
This particular video is going to be the hardest video I've ever had to make, because I understand that it's probably going to upset some people that I've considered very dear friends for a really long time.
It's okay. You're not going to offend me. I got your back still.
And that got me through a lot of things. And I want these people to know that I still love them and I care deeply for them. And I just don't want to be a part of this anymore. And I also want to kind of tell other people why, and maybe just open a door for them if they're also feeling the same way or have some of the same concerns, that, you know, they can feel a little validated and understand that it's okay to step back.
All right, so let's hear the reasons. I'm looking forward to these. Here we go. Now, you know, I'm gonna try to be objective, you know, hear both sides, but okay, let's go.
So I'm gonna start this off by showing you guys what this is about. Okay, I'm holding my phone in my hand, but you're gonna bear with me and my messy room. Now, any of you that feel free to look up the value of any of this stuff, by all means. I'm considering actually posting in the comment section all the different oils that I have. It might just be easier if I do this.
Dang, she dumping on the floor just like she's gonna dump all her problems out on us. I mean, if she wants to look at the the prices and stuff, that would be helpful if, you know, she put that maybe in the description, like a little inventory, perhaps. That would be nice, right?
I paid for this box too. It came from doTERRA. Let me just...
That's a lot of liquid gold, let me just tell you. That's a lot of liquid gold. And I'm curious how much of these are new versus used, because, you know, I might want to buy something, you know what I'm saying?
These are all personal use. None of this was intended for resale.
Oh my goodness.
By the way, I used this bag to go around my house and pick up all of the essential oils that were laying around my house.
That's a lot of oils in her collection. So I would say, you know, mine, it's pretty big too, but the key that I always remember is, like, I have an inventory to help me when things go wrong and before things go wrong. And so having an inventory is nice so you don't run out of something and you have a natural solution within arm's reach. The fact that she wants to give it away already is kind of a red flag, because it's like we're always going to have something with our health that we'll need support in, and choosing a synthetic option is not going to be good with regards to side effects, resistance buildup, and liver kidney toxicity. So having oils, even if, you know, I think she might be approaching, I gotta find out if she's approaching this more from a wholesale customer standpoint and she's quitting, or a wellness advocate standpoint, because those are two different things. The wellness advocate is like, hey, I'm doing this as a business, And if I'm quitting, it's basically saying I don't want to earn income through doTERRA anymore or at all. And then the wholesale customer is basically saying, hey, I want to use the products at a discount and receive their benefits and not do the business. So we got to see what angle she's coming out here, but I'm curious to see, especially with all these oils.
Now, if that's not startling, there's more right there. This is a kit that has, I believe, 8 oils in it, new. This runs about 100, and I think it's 125 for this one or something like that. Maybe it's 100. And then there's all of these right here. I'm keeping these separate because I know a woman that wants these, and I'm giving them to her.
For free? Oh, snap. Bless your heart. You generous.
She does my dreadlocks, so it's a trade.
Okay, well, I wish I could have dreadlocks.
As well as all this material here, it was stuff that I purchased. These are new little introductory kits. These are $25 each for these introductory kits. And there's all these oils here. And then...
That's a lot of natural solutions all up in there. All right. Yes, I'm feeling it. I'm telling you, this is like liquid gold. I'm over here getting excited. I'm about to smell the oil myself. She's making me get in the mood.
Crystal roller bottle caps. I didn't mean to order those. I ordered them accidentally. As you can see, here's reference cards on things you can use. And then here's a book that contains all the different oils, their prices. I don't think that they sell these anymore. Okay.
Dang, be gentle. Come on now.
Let's take a step back. Do you see this?
Mm-hmm. That's a collection.
This is a problem.
No, that is a collection. See? Mindset. Second red flag. You keeping notes? I am. Here we go.
And I was with the company for less than 5 years. But I will make a list in case anybody wants to kind of go through and value this stuff. Okay, now that you've seen this, I'm going to kind of take this step by step and go over 5 reasons why I feel like this was really the best decision for me. The pay is extremely confusing. Now, when it's in your face and you're seeing something like... Okay, guys, so I'm not sure if this is the one that they still send with the packets. This is one that I just happen to have. And I want to open it up to this page here. And this is the Discover the Possibilities. So down here it says the average months to achieve the rank of elite, which will earn you about $304 a month, is 3 months.
Now, that depends on a lot of things, and the question that should be asked actually is that sample representative of the whole amongst people who do doTERRA as a business? So instead of jumping to a conclusion and saying it's misleading, it should be followed up with more questions. Namely, is that sample representative? Because there are people that earn that type of income that's listed there before that time frame as well as after that time frame, and there's people who do things in a certain time frame too, or are very mature in their rank and kind of throw off the numbers as well. So there's a lot of different slices to the income, which you may be saying, well, that's why it's so confusing. Well, not really. You just have to understand and seek truth, and so that's part of being reasonable. But let's continue what she has to say here.
It took me, I think, 9 months to get to that point, and the first time I hit it, my pay that month was $600. I believe, somewhere around there. And then after that, it was very difficult to hit that again every single month. So you do have to hit that every month to be making that. And it is difficult. It does say enroll about 15 people to get there. I want to say at the time I had probably about 25 or 30 enrolled. So that number's not necessarily reflective. It really depends on like if the people are ordering their full potential orders. So
yes, so a lot depends on momentum as well as talking to a lot of people, and there's always going to be attrition as well, meaning people leaving the organization as wholesale customers, or in her case as a wellness advocate as it's kind of been established here. And so that's going to be important to keep in mind, as well as those numbers are averages. So again, a reminder, there's going to be people that are, do things sooner as well as later.
I'm going to jump a couple of ranks ahead to silver. Average months to achieve, it says 18 months, and then your average monthly income will be about $2,200 a month. That's what it says here. I have a friend that was silver. She's not in the business anymore. She verified that it's a lot less than that. It's more about $600 a month that you're getting on average with that.
So she's on the lower end of the spectrum, meaning, remember, averages, those are averages, and there's going to be people that are making less than that and people that are making more. And if somebody's been in a rank a really long time, which a lot of people have, and they make more, it's going to throw off the numbers and the averages as well. And as well, if there's people that are below that average, it's going to throw the numbers off a little bit too. So again, the question should be, is this sample size representative of the whole? And she's implying that it's not. I am just encouraging people to ask the question and see if that information is available, which you can learn more on the income disclosure statement, which I'll have a link in the description as well, so you can check that out.
Diamond, it says that the average months to achieve that is 42 months, and that you'll make about $1,700 a month doing that. And it talks about the different ways that you get paid. The first way that they say that you can get paid is through retail profits, which is basically you get a 25% profit on anything that you buy. So like, for example, if I purchased this with my discount, this is frankincense, and I was just gonna retail sell it to somebody, that they would pay retail price instead of paying for what I paid for it. But
there's nothing confusing about that so far. That's part of business. There's wholesalers with Costco, you know, wholesalers with a lot of different companies that basically buy it at a discount and sell it to you at retail, and then their suppliers have to make a profit too, and they probably get their stuff from a certain person, or combine ingredients or packaging and stuff like that. So this whole wholesaler or supplier, wholesaler, retailer is how business is done in the real world. So it's not confusing. It may be confusing if you don't understand it, but that's part of, you know, trying to understand. And at first it is confusing, or as you go on, it still can be confusing. That really should encourage somebody who has a learner's attitude and learner's spirit to just ask more questions and seek more understanding.
But nobody really does that. I think that this one's like $100 or something very close to that, and I'm not kidding.
People do buy retail. It's just they pay more, and sometimes they don't want a wholesale account. They don't want to become a wholesale customer or wellness advocate. I've had people do that. So it's a little misleading on her end to say that nobody does that, and that's simply not true or accurate. So I think if she's exaggerating, that would be basically stretching the truth or a partial lie. But if she just kind of said it because out of habit, then, or maybe she hasn't experienced that for herself, that's her own truth, but that may not be true or representative of the whole for all the other wellness advocates. So for the things that she's basically saying doTERRA is misleading or confusing, I would also encourage her to say, am I also being accurate as well as truthful and seeking understanding with my claims as well? You know what I'm saying? Like, are we looking in the mirror? Are we going to also hold ourselves to the same or higher standard that we hold others with regards to honesty, integrity, truthfulness, seeking understanding, being reasonable, right? I mean, you can leave a company and do, and obviously she has. And I know people who have left doTERRA and came back. And so I'm actually chatting with a woman right now, and that's already done that. And so, and I've had people that have left my organization and come back, or left other people's organizations and went to a different company. Like, there's so many different scenarios that happens. But anyways, we're going to continue here.
I felt really guilty to charge somebody so much for something that they could just go get themselves for the same price I was getting it.
But not everybody wants to do that, and it's called business. You have to earn a profit. Okay, let's continue. So I'm getting, I'm like, this is more like business acumen stuff. So like, I never feel guilty of charging somebody retail plus taxes, actually, because I'm offering value, and I'm also giving them personalized support as well as education. And so it's not, there's no guilt. There's an exchange. There's a value exchange. So again, mindset is going to be really important with regards to this. So I don't know her work background, so it's hard for me to say like what she's done previously to kind of help her with her mindset. But I would say it's so far not a value exchange mindset, and a little bit limited with regards to some of the claims that she's making, especially on the confusing part or misleading statement part.
I wasn't special. The other way,
I'm not either. But I at least want to seek understanding. And there's kind of like a rule, like first you know, are aware of something, which is what this is bringing to attention, this chart, and then there's understanding, and then, you know, the ins and outs, the pros and cons, consequences, all that stuff. And then there's appreciation. So if she doesn't have an appreciation, it's most likely because she doesn't understand something. And if she doesn't understand something, it's probably because she didn't seek it out, or she didn't want to seek it out, or didn't get a full grasp and, you know, get enough deeper understanding. So that's going to be really important, because that'll probably be a thread through a lot of this, you know, lack of appreciation for what systems that are in place.
Way is the fast start bonuses, which is for the first, I believe, the first 60 days. When you enroll somebody, you get 20% of their orders back for the first 60 days that they've placed orders. No, if I had somebody below me and then that person enrolled somebody, I would get 10% of any of those person's orders for their first 60 days, and then one more level down, 5% of those orders for the next 60 days. The Power of 3 bonus.
So before she goes on to there, so she's explaining the fast start bonus. Basically, whoever enrolls you and whoever enrolls them, they earn a percentage of the customers and future wellness advocates that you enroll. So that's not confusing. It gives the percentages right there, and it tells you what you need to do to qualify for that. So it's not confusing. It's laid out right in front of you, but we'll continue here.
You know, one of the highlights that they have. Let's say if I had 3 people below me place what's called a qualifying order, which is $100 each month. That month I would earn a $50 bonus. And then if I got those 3 people that placed those $100 orders to get 3 more people to place $100 orders, I would get $250 extra that month. So those are the 3 main ways that you get paid.
So just to summarize, the Power of 3 is when you are setting yourself up to earn residual income with basically helping other people in your organization as wellness advocates and wholesale customers. So you earn, those are 3 ways to kind of earn right on the front end. You got retail, you know, the margin between wholesale and retail. Then you have basically the fast starts, which is a percentage of the actual product that you're selling. And then as you develop long-term customers or, you know, loyal customers, then you earn, you know, basically a residual income on that. So this is just 3 quick ways. Not confusing. It's explained right there. And yes, I do get the basic idea, as she kind of says right there, but it can be, I guess I can, you know, try to empathize with her a little bit and say it is or can be confusing at first, or it can be confusing or seem misleading if you don't have a full understanding of it. So I think she should qualify that and not just say, oh, it's confusing because there's so many options and I don't understand it, or, you know, they're not accurate because that's not what my friend earned. Well, again, you have to ask, is your friend on the lower end of the average or on the higher end of the average? Are you on the lower end or higher end of the average? Part of averages mean, again, there's going to be people on the lower end and higher end. That's just kind of how the law of averages works.
Then I'm going to move on to unilevel organizational bonus. And this is kind of their main way that you get paid. This is the pyramid aspect of it, despite the fact that the bonus is also kind of in the pyramid. It is in the pyramid thing.
So it's not a pyramid scheme because there's real products exchanged for real money, whereas the FTC or Federal Trade Commission has defined a pyramid scheme or MLM scam. Basically, you're swapping money for headcount, which is not the case. So doTERRA offers real products, as you could see that she had a whole bunch of, you know, she called it a bunch of, you know, whatever, but it's a collection, and that's more of a positive way to think about it, because that's really what it is. And this is confusing at first, this unilevel organizational bonus and compensation plan, and it is confusing if you don't have a full understanding of it. But that doesn't mean you throw up your hands in the air and you give up and you say, that's too misleading and confusing, nobody earns that, or the people that I know don't earn that, or they earn less than what it said. It's just, hey, this is what's available as an opportunity. Okay, so now it's up to me to get a better understanding of it and see how this can be reflected in my own life. And so it's not just, you know, all right, and it may take me longer. And I think another missing element of this whole process that she's expanding is, who are you becoming along the way, right? Are you becoming a better version of yourself, meaning somebody that's more kind, more considerate, empathetic, more self-aware, you know, have better conflict resolution skills, communication skills, you know, all these skills that we can earn, skill set, mindset, right? Do we have a value mindset? Are we developing business acumen? Or we focus on helping others, a little bit of altruism, but also, you know, a little bit of a profit motive, because you have to make a profit in order to stay in business. But point is, you know, there's a lot of skills we can earn along the way. And I think that is missing in this conversation so far. Can we become our best version of ourselves regardless of what others are doing? You know, I'm in charge of my thoughts, words, and actions. How can I really, you know, optimize and maximize my best self?
But the unilevel bonus, so Anybody that I enroll, I get 2% of their orders. Anybody they enroll, I get 3% of their orders, and so on and so forth, down to level 7, where you're getting 7% of those orders. The other way is called infinity performance pools, and those are leadership performance pools. So once you start to reach certain ranks, you'll get a pool of the profits or something like that.
You earn a percentage of the profits that doTERRA earns as you get to higher ranks. And so that's what that pool means, which is it's an additional income stream through doTERRA. So there's basically diversified income streams within the company, not just one way to make money. And so that could either be confusing if you have a limited mindset, or that could be a great way to diversify your income within a network marketing company if you have more of a, abundance mindset. So again, it comes down to mindset here.
Mind you, I was with this company for about 4 years, and it's still confusing to me. I know people that are, what rank is that? Rank gold, which is supposed to be making around $5,000 a month, that still don't really understand fully the compensation plan with the company. I find that really alarming. Like, you're gonna work with a company for years and you really don't fully comprehend the compensation plan.
That sounds like a victim mentality, because whose responsibility is it to understand something? It's your own, right? And so you can point the finger all day, but you're going to have 3 more pointing back at you. And if you point all your fingers at somebody, you're going to have that arm that's connected to you. So I think this is the other element that's missing in this actual video, is where's the personal responsibility being taken for, hey, I do not understand something. It's been 4 years. I've reached a certain rank, or I know people who have reached certain ranks and still don't understand it. Okay, how can I understand it better? How can I understand it more fully? How can I understand it more deeply? Or I need to ask myself, what level of understanding is actually needed so that I can take a next step, which is grow my business and grow myself? Do I need to have complete, all-knowing comprehension of every single aspect of doTERRA to be successful? No. Really, you just have to talk to a lot of people, help them when they have a need, and be able to offer a solution when they're ready. That's really what it comes down to. I'm not trying to oversimplify, but again, it really comes down to your skills, your goals, and your effort, as well as your mindset. And there's a lot of other factors too that are kind of missing from this discussion. But I would like to see a little bit more personal responsibility taken from on her end with regards to, skills that are needed or taken. I know that's asking a lot, right? I own, where my gaps are, and that's because I value transparency and vulnerability. Those are things that I value, and as a result, those come out either when asked or when I see a deficit in my own results that I need to improve upon. And I know that until I reach my goal, I need to be improving myself along the way and not blaming, shaming, or playing the victim for anything. I am in control of my thoughts, words, and actions, period, regardless of how confusing something is, or regardless of representative sample sizes or numbers or stats within a company. I need to work on Lance. I need to work on myself, because I have deficits, I have failures, I have things I need to work on, period. And it's not always about the money. It's how can I improve my own health, my self-care, because I am focusing on the business so much. How can I focus on how I speak to others, or my patience, or my empathy? Like, I could go on forever on how many things I can improve upon, but that's because I value that. Again, I value vulnerability, I value transparency, and I value self-improvement and personal development. That's huge with me, and that's because that's what my mentors value, and that's what everyone that I surround myself with, which isn't too many people, but that's what they value to differing and varying degrees as well. But let's continue with what she has to say here.
To the point where even my upline that was supposed to be doing really well still couldn't really answer questions whenever it didn't make sense to somebody on the team. There's nothing.
Your upline or mentor is not going to know everything, and so you can ask their upline or mentor, or you can email customer support, or you can call customer support, or you can reach out to cross lines with regards to other Facebook groups. You can do a lot of things with regards to getting information. I have people ask me questions on YouTube that are from different teams, and that helps them understand it a little bit better, even if I can't solve their problem all the time. It's just, hey, here's where you can get started, or I try to point people in the right direction, and it's up to them, right, that personal responsibility to take that ball and run with it. Or they can throw it on the ground and say, I don't like Spalding balls, I don't like balls at all, I like, I don't know, tennis balls, not basketballs. I don't know, it's just like, well, basketball's confusing, so I give up. No, it's hey, let's figure out what kind of ball you've been given, you know, learn the rules of the game, try to run with it, jog with it, crawl with it, I don't know, something, try. And if you need help, let's establish a mentor or a community to help answer some of those questions and seek those out, and not just expect everything to come to you, or even to have full and absolute knowledge of everything within doTERRA or a company, and really focus on, again, how can I develop along the way.
Nothing more stripping of your identity than this like always be selling mentality. So I have a pretty strong personality, and I want to
Really? I would have never guessed.
hang out with my friends. I want to go to events. I want to go to parties with my friends,
And you can. You absolutely can. So when she says always be selling, that already tells me that she hasn't had much sales training, because sales is all about understanding people's needs and offering a solution when they're ready. And really, the best sales are when they come to you. And the only way that people are going to come to you is if they know about what you do, but you don't do it in a salesy way. It's, hey, how do I build relationships with people over time? And if I hear a need, I ask questions to pre-qualify them. And once they meet my pre-qualification, like, oh, they have a need, oh, they have goals, oh, now let's see if there's a fit based on how open and ready they are for whatever I offer after my questions. That's part of sales training according to Jordan Belfort, which I highly recommend everyone check out. Link will be in the description. You can check that out as well. But yeah, sales training would definitely be, I would say, needed, just kind of hearing her language right here.
just kind of go have a drink with them or something, and not made to feel guilty for these kinds of things. I'll tell you a little bit of a story about that.
Nobody makes you feel guilty about anything. We choose our feelings, and we choose what our thoughts, words, and actions are. So I know I even am guilty of saying, you know, that made me feel some type of way. But really, the correct and more accurate way to say and discuss feelings is, I felt this way because, not this person, this thing, this company made me feel this way. Nobody makes you feel anything. It happens and you feel some type of way. You can choose what you do with that feeling. You let it continue, let it fester, dissolve it, resolve it, whatever you want to do, but that's something to keep in mind as well.
Here in a little bit. I always had this sense of guilt because I felt like I wasn't allowed to have my personality because it somewhat conflicted with the salesy person, and I'm not pushy. You know, if somebody tells me no, I'm like, cool. And I'm just not a pushy person.
Neither am I, and that's okay. If somebody, there's a saying, you move towards people that move towards you, and when they don't move towards you, you talk to the next person. And there's also a helpful saying where some will, some won't, so what, someone's waiting. So again, these are more mindset things to keep in mind, because a lot of people, whether they're anti-MLM or they join a company and quit a company, haven't spent enough time developing their mindset in such a way where it's a value mindset or a, you know, appropriate or proper sales mindset for things that focuses on service, not so much sales. When you serve people and you help them, the amount of money that you make is going to be in direct proportion, or following. It's a lagging indicator of how many people you help. So the focus should always be on the number of people you help. And for some people who are just like, yeah, I've had that red Chevy person, he even said, hey, like, basically only the top 1% of doTERRA people make money, and MLMs, like, I need more of like an income that can pay my bills and do other stuff, and basically a self-employment corporation or franchise is better because of these reasons. And I'm like, well, number one, you're missing the element of how many people quit, which is this woman here. But then you also have a lot of customers that just receive value from that, and you have to think about, like, hey, like, those people are making money, but what are you doing to be rich in character? What are you doing to be rich in integrity? What are you doing to be rich in skill set? What are you doing to be rich in mindset? What are you doing to be rich in, you know, all these aspects that we can continuously improve upon and strive for excellence in, knowing that we'll never be perfect. There was only one man that was perfect, Jesus Christ. So what can we do to instead strive for excellence in everything we do? That's the question that should be asked. That's the question I ask myself every day, and I fail a lot too. But that doesn't mean I'm going to quit, you know, because times are tough. No, that means I need to develop my skill set better, develop my mindset more. I need to develop, you know, what I need to be more aware of my thoughts, words, and actions, all that stuff.
So I do want to read off some things. I've kept a list of them for a while on things that I was actually told in this regard. Tell people to charge their credit It's their health and they won't regret it.
Okay, that is a saying, but it all depends on if they have a need, goals, and if it's a fit and they're open and ready for all that. So that I would qualify that. But if she's told that, there has to be a level of discernment, right? There has to be a level of separating the truth from the lies, or the less truths, or the half truths, or the the hearsay stuff too. So I think some discernment is going to be necessary in some of these sayings, not just taking them for face value, but taking them with a grain of salt and seeing if they apply.
That rhymed.
Yes.
You can pretty much say whatever you want as long as it's behind closed doors.
That's true, and that's false. You can physically say that, but you also don't want to mislead people or lie, right? And that's where I just keep it real. I'll say this oil has helped me or has helped other people, but there's other oils that people said they didn't receive a benefit from. But if they, when they layered it or tried, hot compress, or they've, adjusted and improved their diet and lifestyle, the oils enhanced their basically quality of life because of those things. And that's the keep it real answer. The lying answer would be this oil, and then make some claim that's, like it's a magical wand or silver bullet for something, and that's not going to be accurate or truthful. And I don't make those claims. I keep it real. So yes, you can say whatever you want, but you still need to keep it real, right? Whether it's behind closed doors, and you need to be compliant as much as you can in public on social media, which is what I try to do. But behind closed doors, I just keep it real, and I do let people know about compliance and other stuff too. Sometimes it's harder than other times, right? I'll just be honest. But at the same time, my goal is to be compliant according to FDA standards and what doTERRA has on their doTERRA claims list, as well as other areas.
If you don't place a maximum qualifying monthly order, you won't be in the support group.
That's not cool. Like, if you were told that, then I would say, number one, the person that told you that, that's messed up. Because that's like exclusion because of that's manipulation. Basically, it's a form of manipulation. But what I will also say is, now here's where the personal responsibility comes in, and the tough pill to swallow, because she has to have, this is why I stress so much for having discernment and basically proper choosing skills on the front end before you enroll with somebody. You need to know, like, and trust the person, product, and company, and know that they're going to basically align with your own values and beliefs, and provide you with excellent customer service. And if somebody says something like this, that's in this quote in front of you, now the question is, did that person that you were enrolling with, were there any red flags that you ignored on the front end that they said or did that you ignored and went with them anyway? Because yes, there's nobody that's going to be perfect that you enroll with, but at the same time, there can be red flags that you may overlook due to the honeymoon phase, or because I'm loyal to them, or because that's my cousin or my mom or my sister, when really, or whoever it is, it could be a friend, it could be, some people may say me, like, man, you this or that, and it's just like, all right, well, at least I'm gonna keep it real, and I'm not gonna use manipulation or like coercion to try to make you do something. You can do whatever you want. That's what I say. But here's what I believe is a good, better, best way. Here's what I believe is a bad, worst, and the worst way to do things. You're in choice. You can make a decision whatever you want to do.
Share the products every day with everyone in your life. Make a list of everyone you've ever met. If you care about people, you'll want the best for them.
That is true. All marketing starts with a list. And when you reach out to them, you'll see who's open and ready, and you'll see who's not. That's it. And if they care enough about their health and it's a priority, and they're in the market or looking for something, then the sales will more so come to you. And it also depends on what relationship, because relationship equals response. If you don't have a good relationship with them, then their response to you won't be as good either. And also, again, it depends on if they're in the market, if they're looking for solutions, stuff like that.
And the last one really strikes me because I heard this a lot, and I think it's kind of that cult mentality that's very scary to people. If you lose friends and family over this, then they were probably not a good friend to begin with.
Yes and no, right? A lot of this depends. Because it also depends on what your approach to those friends and family are. And they say they weren't a good friend, so that's implying that a good friend is somebody that buys from you. And if they don't buy from you, then you lose them. But here's what I will say. I will say, for the friends and family members that don't buy with me, whether it be wholesale, or retail, I just say, hey, it wasn't a good fit. Now, would I like to have a stronger or better relationship with them? Yes, but in most, if not almost all cases, a lot of my relationship with them is going to be based on how willing and eager they are to focus on their own personal development. And I'm not going to try to lead a horse to water and force them to drink it if they don't want to. A lot of times people are like, I don't need essential oils. And they'll say that because they're like, I'm already well. Why would I need essential oils or supplements? I'm well, Lance. And I'm like, to maintain your wellness. If something happens, like there's somebody that's under the weather or something around you, or you get a little nick or something, or whatever it is. I mean, your skin breaks out. I don't know, something. And then they're like, yeah, I'll worry about that when it happens, or it's only a problem until it's a problem, right? But then when somebody does experience something that's not so pleasant, then they're like, oh, this is too serious for essential oils or supplements, Lance. I gotta go see a medical professional. And I'm like, well, if you had something within arm's reach and you knew the benefits and uses and you had more of a proactive, wellness lifestyle, keyword lifestyle, then, most of those situations could have been prevented. And so that is going to be also key to keep in mind. Again, you probably see a pattern in all the mindset, skill set, and tool set. Tool set is, the oils and supplements and educational materials. But really, a lot of this, and, that's the success, and I don't define it as simply monetarily or financially. Success is basically your health, your money, your relationships, your physical level, or fitness, and your spirituality as well. And so there's a lot of ways you can be rich in relationships, or have a healthy, rich body from a quality of life standpoint. And I think that's important to keep in mind too.
Let that sink in.
Oh, it sank in, and I provided a response. Let that sink in.
The number 3 thing that I had a problem with, believing in yourself is not job education.
That's correct. You have to focus on personal development as well. And so it says no business coaching. Let's see what she has to say.
So this has to do with like the lack of support that you end up with. And I don't want to say that my upline wasn't supportive, but I felt like the sales education or learning how to actually do the business, that wasn't a part of your upline's duties.
That's true. It's up to you and your own skills, goals, and effort to determine your level of success with regards to doTERRA. So therefore, your upline, that's what Eric Worre says. You should basically say to your upline, hey, thanks for being my upline and mentor, but I got it from here. I don't know everything. I'm not going to pretend to, but guess what? I'm going to strive for excellence. I'm going to try to help as many people as I can. And if there's a question that I have, I will find the answer, or I will find somebody who does, whether that's Google search, YouTube, your upline, their upline's upline. There's a back office. It shows everyone's phone number and email. I can call customer support. I can email support. I can chat with doTERRA support. I can do a lot of stuff, let me tell you. And that is called a learner's attitude, and not a victim mentality, but a victor mentality. I'm going to say that again because she and others could probably benefit from that. That is not a victim mentality. That is a victor mentality, where you're like, I'm going to find an answer. I either know where it's at or I'm going to find it. And when you have that attitude, the latitude is beyond the stars. So that's just keeping it 100 right there.
And their duties were more to be like your cheerleader. And, whenever you're trying to start a new business or something like that, you don't really need a cheerleader. You need somebody to tell you how to do it.
That's why you have to choose and have discernment on the front end on who your enroller is, and why I stress so much importance. The lack of personal responsibility being taken on that is a red flag. Now, I'm not going to say every doTERRA wellness advocate is supposed to know everything and you're supposed to wait 5 years before you enroll with somebody. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is that there takes a certain level of, hey, just like your house, oh no, the roof is leaking, so I need to go on Angie's List or Yelp and poll Facebook or call or text my referrals and get price quotes of everyone, as well as testimonials, customer, let know about their customer support, if they got 5 stars, 4 stars, customer reviews, all that stuff. And not just go with somebody because somebody referred me. I've had bad experiences with, I'm not going to name any names or companies. I've had bad experiences from referrals that had to do with not essential oil stuff, like house stuff and car stuff. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to do more price quotes next time and understand more of the level and quality of service and research them on Yelp and Angie's List and Facebook and wherever else before I make a purchasing decision, because my know, like, and trust factor ain't that good right now with this person, product, or company, and I'm gonna try to get it there with somebody because I need to make a purchase because I have a need and I have some goals and I'm searching for fit, right? And so that's the mindset I have, though, because I got sales training, and how'd I get it? I had somebody tell me about it. Now, granted, not every wellness advocate is going to tell you all that, and they're not going to tell you about Jordan Belfort and his awesome sales training in a book I will have in the link in the description so you can check that out. I'm telling you now, whether you're with an MLM or not, with doTERRA or not, but at the same time, it's searching that out and you will find. And the fact that you're listening to me talk for this long shows that you're interested in at least hearing what she's got to say and or hearing what I got to say, because there's something else to the story. She's providing one end, I'm trying to balance it out with the other end.
Now, there are programs that you can pay for to learn scripts. And I do have the scripts that they teach you word for word, and you've probably heard them before because the scripts are used throughout most MLM businesses. But you do have to pay around $600 to $1,000 to go to one of these online series of learning how to sell.
That's not true, because there's the Live, Share, and Build and Launch Guide. Those handouts are PDFs you can get for free, and specifically the Share Guide has scripts for free, and they're pretty comprehensive and good. So that's called free 99, meaning it's free. I don't know how else I can say that. It's free. It's called the doTERRA Share Guide. Google it, YouTube search it, send me a message. I'll hook you up. I'll give you the link myself. Leave a comment in the description. I'll give you the link. Whatever it is, I'll hook you up. It's free, and I get it. Not everybody knows about it, but it's the standard within doTERRA. So she even showed you a build guide earlier with the paper copy. There's a PDF of that, you know, because she was going over the compensation and stuff. So there is scripts and stuff that are for free. Knowing is half the battle, and the other half is probably execution and I would say mindset. But I know I sound like a broken record.
So it's just more money that you're having to shell out just to learn how to sell the products.
Not if it's free, which it is. Share Guide, doTERRA Share Guide.
And that was really frustrating for me because I wanted somebody to tell me, what's the magic formula? Where does my focus need to be? What's more important?
Your mindset, your skill set, and your tool set. You got the Natural Solutions handout. You have the Live Guide, the Share Guide, the Build Guide, and the Launch Guide. Telling you now, I know it's too late for her, maybe not for you, but this is again why it's so important that you find a person, product, and company that you know, like, and trust, and will provide excellent customer service. And that means talking to multiple people if you're not already enrolled with doTERRA, or if you're already enrolled in doTERRA as a wholesale customer or wellness advocate and you're not getting that support. It means Google search, YouTube search. I do paid coaching calls to wellness advocates, not to cross-line recruit, but to help them grow their business. It's a paid coaching call because I help them with any of these questions that they have in exchange for the information and relationship building, because they feel like their upline is not providing that. Again, I'm not cross-line recruiting. I'm just coaching them with their business, and it's a paid coaching call because that's the only value exchange that makes sense for me right now. I have over 1,300 videos on YouTube, so they can search my channel. If you go to the desktop version of my channel and there's a little search bar next to the About, you search, you type in a topic, you can find all that. But if you want that personalized support and you're already on a different team, or people that are in my team, then it's either going to be a paid coaching call for people on other teams, or for my own organization. It's free. That's what comes with it. Now, after I give that information, it's up to the individual to develop their skills, their goals, as well as mindset to really develop that success. And it's not just financial success. It's your relationships. Are you rich in relationships? What about your self-care and your body and your mind? What are you feeding it with, right? There's so many aspects. But let's see what else you got to say.
And honestly, to me, I thought what was more important was to make sure that the people that I had enrolled were loving the products and ordering the products. But that wasn't the case because the pressure ended up being on getting new enrollments. If you got new enrollments, you were rewarded for it. And that didn't seem right to me. So
that's called sales or commission-based structure. So that's called sales. That's, you get rewarded for the amount of results you produce or your performance. That's it. That's just business acumen or mindset.
if somebody got 9 enrollments versus somebody that had 3 people that placed a qualifying order, you are more highly rewarded within the company for getting more enrollments. And I don't see how that's right.
It's because you produced more results. That's with any sales organization. You produce more results for the company and make them more money. They reward you either with usually recognition and money. But she's just saying, well, if I have less and I don't get recognized enough, if you need some love, some hugs, some something, like, I think you have to find your validation from not just external sources. You have to have internal. I know for mine, I get a lot of my validation and self-worth and self-esteem from the Bible and my relationship with Jesus Christ. So that's where I find mine, and everything else is a bonus. Like if somebody says, "Good job, Lance," I'm like, "Thanks. I'm not finding my identity in your compliment, but thank you. I do appreciate it, genuinely." You know, but I don't say it like that. That's just weird. But you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to communicate the principle. And so yeah, if people are getting rewarded, that's called you have to get rewarded. What gets rewarded gets repeated. So if people are getting rewarded for their enrollments, they're going to want to have more enrollments because they're getting validation. Now, I'm only just questioning where you finding your identity with the validation or lack of validation.
That to me felt like a whole lot of quantity over quality. It was hard to figure out where you were supposed to focus. So a lot of
focus on developing yourself. Boom.
Sometimes we hear the response from people, an MLM is just like any other business. No, it's not. Let's say I go to Sephora and I buy my mascara at Sephora. The lady at the counter doesn't tell me, "Hey, do you want to know how you can also make money with these products? If you get other people to buy them and then they get other people to buy them, you'll get paid for that."
First of all, that's called a traditional network marketing approach where you're basically saying, "Hey, I got this business opportunity and I'm not going to understand your needs, goals, or seeing if there's a fit, but here's this business opportunity. Oh yeah, and we got some products too, but you know, but hey, there's money, Ferrari, mansion." Okay, I'm exaggerating, but that's basically what a traditional network marketing company focuses on, is the business opportunity focus, and it's very recruit and sell focus, versus a authentic network marketing business model and approach, which doTERRA does follow, but not everybody in doTERRA follows, clearly from this video. It's basically focusing on powerful products as well as teaching and sharing, and I would qualify that with once you pre-qualify. And pre-qualify just means you listen for a need, you ask follow-up questions to see how open and ready they are to natural solutions, essential oils, or doTERRA, and you have a script that is for free, doTERRA share guide, and there's a PDF. You just Google it, I'm telling you, or you can just send me an email, whatever. But and you follow the script, and you make it your own a little bit, add your little flavor up in there, but you have the meat or whatever up in there. I'm vegan, but you know what I'm saying, you have the meat script that you tell people, because that's what has worked for other people, and you just repeat what has worked and make it your own. And it's a numbers game. You have to talk to a lot of people, and you have to have a lot of people coming in the door for that to work. But anyways, let's continue here.
No other company does this except for MLM companies.
Because MLMs are a referral-based business or word of mouth marketing-based business. So almost all businesses do have an affiliate type of marketing or a referral program, but you may not have a downline or organization that you earn continuous commissions or residual income from. Yes, that's correct. But all businesses have either a referral program, affiliate marketing program, or at the very least, you get rewarded for buying something, a discount, which I know is separate from the whole, commission structure. But that's what makes MLMs or network marketing exactly what they are. It's a referral or word of mouth marketing business, which is arguably the most effective way to market because it builds on the trust of other people. And I would just qualify that people who have a right mindset and sales training with regards to focusing on powerful products, assessing for needs, goals, and fit.
Another way is you work a lot harder for a lot less pay. And I can't stress that enough. Like any other job, even base pay job where you're making minimum wage, you're going to make significantly more than that and work way less at a job that doesn't take that much effort and doesn't put that much pressure on you.
The only pressure that you receive is from yourself, right? So if people put pressure on you, it's because you've chosen them, okay? You either lack discernment in choosing the right people to surround yourself with, or haven't set the appropriate boundaries, okay? That's verbally, that's physically, whatever it is. No more victim mindset. Let's say, hey, if I'm being pressured, I'm gonna either separate myself, or I'm gonna develop my skill set to handle that better. And there are pros and cons with any business. With a doTERRA or MLM or network marketing business model, there's no glass ceilings. You can earn as much income as you want, and the company rewards you for that. Yes, in the beginning you're earning no income, and then you go to low income, and then eventually, if you don't give up or quit, like this video, you can have high income. Some people it takes 1 month, some people it takes 1 year, some people it takes 10 years. But you may be like, well, why would I work a job, or why would I approach a doTERRA business? It's gonna take me 10 years, Lance, and I can't even pay my bills. It's because you don't rely on doTERRA to pay your bills. You focus on your own personal development and helping people, and you develop your skills, and as well as what goals you want and the amount of effort you put in. You control the controllables, and that's it.
And another way that there's a lot of denial is that people think that these products need to be their first line of defense. I'm a huge advocate for people doing the right thing for their health, and whenever I see them saying, like, you know, somebody will say something on Facebook like, oh my gosh, we have strep, and then all of a sudden everybody's going, oh, have you used On Guard essential oil? That's very scary to me. It's strep. Go to the doctor.
Well, first of all, if you have that, you shouldn't wait till it's that, because usually before that you have a sore throat, and then before that you have a scratchy throat, and then before that you have a little tingle where you talk. And where the tingle with the talk, that's when I use oils and apple cider vinegar, lemon oil, and water, and drink that all the time. And actually, this is the first year of my life for the past 10 years that I have not gotten anything beyond a scratchy throat. And that's because I'm constantly hydrating with organic and raw apple cider vinegar, as well as they're in these little bottles. If you've seen some of my other videos, they're like these old kombucha bottles. They're like 17 ounces or whatever, or 16.9 ounces, and I drink it with reverse osmosis water. You can use alkaline water too, that's good. And I fill it up with the apple cider vinegar and lemon oil, and I drink that all throughout the day. And I make sure to drink at least half my body weight in ounces every day, which is like 5 of these bottles. And so I fill them up, and boom, I'm good. Like my throat is supported all throughout the day, all the time, even when there's people around me. And when I get a little more tingle where I talk, then guess what? I'm using more oils, and that is my first line of defense, and it's the best line because it's a proactive lifestyle, not waiting until something's so bad that I'm leaving a Facebook post and hoping somebody doesn't leave a doTERRA solution comment, you know, and then the person that read that comment does a YouTube video called I Quit doTERRA and Why.
My friend actually called me yesterday and was like, everybody in the house has strep. And I was like, I hope you went to the doctor. My first line of defense against an ailment
is proactiveness.
Isn't using essential oils. It's addressing it with the resources that we have that we know work.
Which is essential oils if you're proactive with them.
False claims and lack of education on safety. Now you can go visit the doTERRA website and click the tab at the top that says Advocate, and you'll see doTERRA University. Go ahead and scroll through where it says Living doTERRA, and you'll see one of them that says Safety. Cool, except when you read through it, it doesn't tell you anything that you shouldn't do. And there's a lot of things that you shouldn't do with essential oils.
That is found in the Live Guide, the doTERRA Live Guide, which is for free, which is a PDF, or you can get a basically printed out version. That's also available on doTERRA website if you search for it, just like you search for the other stuff, or your enroller or sponsor can provide that information. So again, are we going with victim mentality, or we're going with victor mentality and learner's attitude? I'm just saying.
That's alarming to me. I had even created these cards to give to people when I gave them their essential oils so that they could put it on the refrigerator.
You don't need to. You got aroma tools, you have the doTERRA Live Guide. I mean, you got a lot of stuff here. I'm just saying.
It's essential oil safety tips. Number 1, dilute with coconut oil. Avoid sun exposure for several hours after applying citrus oils topically. Check all labels and follow recommendations.
That's all in the Live Guide, seriously. Like, oh my goodness. Like, the amazing thing about a doTERRA business, if you actually have a learner's attitude and a victor mentality focused on value and personal development, and you actually find an enroller that can provide some more information, or you Google stuff or YouTube search stuff, you will find that there's a ton of information. You don't have to reinvent any wheel. All the information's out there. Really what it comes down to is your level of skills, goals, and effort. And I would, again, add mindset.
Avoid contact with eyes, insides of nose and ears. Use a reference guide to find solutions. As in, like, another one says, doTERRA oils are very potent. Use smaller diluted amounts. And use glass containers with your oils because they can break down some plastics. And then at the bottom it says, pregnant or nursing women should check a reference guide or speak with their doctor to know which oils to avoid. And before starting any alternative therapy, speak with your doctor if you're currently taking medications. That is so important. And there's nothing on the website or any kind of education that they provide for people to tell them to.
That's why wellness advocates, if you find the right one or Google or YouTube search, will provide those answers. And again, a lot of this is going to come down to your level of discernment, choosing skills, and ability to search for stuff when you have a question. So that's why I am making this video. I'm letting you know right when she says something, here's the other side of the story and here's the solution. Boom, she's presenting problems. Boom, here's the solution. Again, Aroma Tools, you can search it out or you can send me an email. I'll send you some resources, or it's for free. It is on the website. It's the doTERRA Live Guide, was specifically what she's talking about. Now, if you want a little card or something like that, that's going to be more Aroma Tools. But if you want just a handout or something that as a PDF that you can quickly reference or have in hand, that doTERRA Live Guide, and it's free. The doTERRA Live Guide is free for the PDF. Now, the printed out one is not. That costs money because it costs money to print out stuff.
Check when it comes to their medications. I don't care if it's aspirin. Do you know that rosemary interacts with aspirin? People want to.
First of all, if you go to a doctor, they're not always trained on nutrition or integrative or alternative medicine. So that is going to be one option out of many. Like, I always recommend people get second, third, and fourth opinions from naturopaths, homeopaths, chiropractors, in addition to their physician. And so that way, yeah, it costs more time. Yes, it costs more money, but your health is worth it. Your mental sanity is worth it, right? All this stuff is worth it. And yes, there are interactions with stuff. There's plenty of reference guide and books that I give to my clients and customers and wellness advocates, which is why, again, I recommend having those choosing skills and basically interviewing people before you enroll with them, and not just going just off of loyalty or just one factor.
Say they're natural and they're pure. There's still chemicals, and there's hundreds of chemicals in each one of these things.
They're natural chemicals though, not synthetic.
And not all of those chemicals have been researched. And I find that to be really dangerous to tell people to use them willy-nilly without going to check and make sure that they're not going to interfere with their medication.
Hey, don't be throwing them oils down, okay? You're going to have some respect for them bottles, okay? That's liquid gold, let me just tell you. And first of all, she getting a little upset. She's going to need some serenity or some balance, okay? But you can grab one of the 20 that you got on the ground. But anyways, first of all, that information, those oils are researched, and I have a very large book that I give to my customers when they place a second month order of at least 125 points, or they can buy it for $30. And you may be like, I gotta pay to learn. How much is your health worth? Okay, it's priceless because it's worth so much. So, and if you want a free version, I have free versions of stuff too. It's not as comprehensive, but it does show the research.
They interfere with blood clotting.
Oh, let me also talk about another resource. You can actually go to PubMed and type in essential oils. Boom, more research than you have time to view. So, yes, there are interactions with stuff. Everybody's a little bit different. You got body type, gender, age, a lot of stuff. That's why you follow the proper use directions from what your enroller or doTERRA, the Natural Solutions handout, the Live Guide, the Share Guide, the Build Guide, and the Launch Guide, depending on what your needs are. You review all those. You either print them out or buy them, or you get the free PDF, and boom, you have what she's just mentioned, and you don't have to throw down any oils on the carpet.
That's real.
Okay, I'm being real too. Now the question is, can you handle it?
And then that brings me to false claims. And this is one of my biggest pet peeves with the company.
I hope you're going to look at your own false claims, because this video, and whew, let me tell you.
I'm going to post some of these up, but first I'm going to show you. All right, so this brings me to false claims. Now what I'm going to do is kind of show you guys right here. All I did was I went on Instagram, looked up hashtag doTERRA, and just looked at some that were posted in the past 6 hours because I want to show you guys what these say. Action being taken by the company or the FDA. And it is illegal. So I only hope that this kind of thing stops. It's not okay to be saying.
Okay, so instead of using the word illegal, it's not compliant with the FDA. And if they continue to make what are called drug claims or drug use claims, then yes, doTERRA has gotten letters in the past, or a letter in the past, to basically hold wellness advocates accountable. Now, the question is, she may say, well, it's not my job to message people on Instagram DMs about, compliance. But at the same time, if you see a problem, you can be a part of the problem or you can be a part of the solution. And that is a part of it as well. It's kind of self-accountability. It's lovingly holding others accountable, whether they don't know it or like it. And then it's, asking doTERRA, like, is there anything we can do? A lot of times, the reason I'm held accountable is because I have a website that is doTERRA verified, and there's crawlers that scan it for terms that aren't compliant and stuff like that. And then my website also gets audited. So again, I'm just bringing up the audited fact because I have volunteered myself to say, hey, I want to be compliant and I want to be held accountable, and I'm going to hold myself accountable. And they also did hold me accountable too. I had to correct a lot of stuff a few years back. So, but it was because I wanted to focus on being compliant with doTERRA and the FDA. But it's not illegal, it's just not compliant. Yes, the FDA could shut doTERRA down if they had wellness advocates continuously making drug claims, but at the same time, it's up to the individuals and the accountability that doTERRA has. And really, again, it starts with self-accountability first, and then lovingly holding others accountable, and then asking doTERRA what can be done as well.
It's very alarming. Anyhow, these are some of the reasons why I did skedaddle out of the business.
So you skedaddled because people were leaving non-compliant claims, and you're being, just posting them on social, like YouTube, and perpetuating the problems. Like, seriously, like, we need to be a part of the solution. Like, I need to be a part of the solution. I'm over here saying, do this, do that. Like, I could do better myself. And I'm just saying, like, again, that's part of my focus outside of doTERRA. Like, I focus on transparency. I focus on being vulnerable in a way that shows that I'm not perfect. I don't have it all together. I make mistakes. I can improve all the time. But I am going to try to do things with excellence as well. And so I'm not going to blame a company or a person or a product for something that I had mostly control of or all control of, or I allowed to happen. Like, either I allowed something to happen on the front end, or I could have understood the benefits and uses better, or I could lovingly hold accountable somebody better. Like, I can do something better in every single case. Even if I feel that I'm 100% out of control of the situation, I still could have a better mindset about it, or I could deal with it in a better or healthier way. You know what I mean? There's always room for improvement, no matter what, always.
I am a pretty honest person, and I find...
So am I, girl, so am I. I keep it real. I believe in being brutally honest but exceedingly kind, and I know a lot of tough love from me was given in this video, but I'm just trying to keep it real, no filter. Well, mostly filter, but respectful, right? I'm trying to be respectful, but again, I'm keeping it 100.
And this to be unethical. So
that's your opinion. Thank you.
Of you guys that are doTERRA representatives, if I've offended you in any way, not sorry.
I'm not offended at all. More, if anything, I hope you get some more self-awareness and learn that for every point that you brought up, there's another side of the story. There's another side of the argument or discussion, and I will just summarize and say that mindset is going to be really important. I'm not sorry for saying that. And your skills that you develop along the way, that's going to be very important as well as seeking out what you don't understand. Going from awareness to understanding, meaning seeking it, and then appreciation, whether you like or agree with the process, the outcome, or whatever you feel is the situation. So if you feel like you're not getting enough support, you have to acknowledge, maybe I didn't select the best enroller, or I should have shopped around, so to speak, a little bit. Or, hey, I am with somebody, boom, I'm stuck, I'm not getting the support I need. What can I Google? What can I YouTube search? She did look at doTERRA's website, so that's cool. But what other YouTube video? I haven't heard anything about her YouTube search endeavors. I haven't heard anything about actually, I mean, Googling, yeah, obviously pictures that are not compliant on Instagram and stuff like that and doing screenshots. I commend her for her, video editing skills. That's actually pretty good. I appreciate that. But I will also say that where's the personal development? Where's the personal responsibility taking for thoughts, words, and actions? And where is the seeking understanding and trying to appreciate things, whether you like or agree with it?
Anybody that's a doTERRA representative that's considering getting out, I hope this maybe helped you a little bit.
People are going to quit anyway, regardless of your video, and that's going to be evidence of a lot of businesses in general, franchise corporations, mom and pops, self-employment. There's attrition. There's companies that go out of business. They don't have enough capital. They try to do everything themselves. They don't know how to scale up. There's lots of reasons why businesses fail. The E-Myth Revisited is actually a really good book that talks about that. I highly, highly recommend that. It's basically going to be talking about why businesses fail, and you really can't fail unless you quit. So that's my 2 cents on that.
Or anybody that's in an MLM or knows somebody that is in one. But for me, I'm not going to be participating in this anymore. I'm not going to be buying from any MLM company ever again.
Wow, that's a drastic stance, but I mean, if a product adds value, it should be based on value exchange, not, hey, I have these 5 reasons that have logical and reasonable rebuttals to them, and boom. Honestly, I'm just keeping it real again. Like, all her reasons, they can be overcome. They're obstacles that can be overcome, seriously, with more of an abundance mindset, seriously, like that, and developing your own skills and taking personal responsibility, boom. Like Jack Canfield's book, The Success Principles, that book I'm going to include in the link in the description. And you may be like, Lance, why do you include all these links to these books? I ain't trying to read. I don't like to read. But it's so important that we develop ourselves. Again, the goal should be, aside from doTERRA and her quitting and whatever, and my responses, the goal should to try to become your best self. The goal should be to live your best life. The goal should be to have a focus, whether it be a small focus or a large focus, on personal development, because that's the only way that you're going to grow. She even said, how can I believe, she's talking about believing in yourself is not enough. That's true. You have to get outside information, truth, seek it out, fact-based evidence, research, Google searches, YouTube searches, videos, whatever it is, seminars, personally developed. People spend, college is over $40,000 depending on where you go. I'm just mentioning Ohio State. That's where I went. Anyways, it costs $40,000. You could spend literally, 10% of that on all your personal, personal development endeavors and really greatly benefit from that. Meaning the groceries you buy, the supplements you take, the clothes you wear, the books you read, the videos you watch, the articles, all that stuff can be, purchased within that 4,000, in a few months or a year or whatever. I'm just saying, like, a fraction of college education, which is a form of personal development and higher education, could be spent on yourself in a non-college environment. You just have to want it, right? You have to have that desire. Part of that's going to be personality and upbringing and values and beliefs, actually a large part of it, but it's there, right? We live in the information age. There's no greater time to be an entrepreneur, but at the same time, there's lots of competition, and a lot is going to come down to your mindset, your skill set, as well as your tool set to determine your success, which is not just financial.
Okay, I do want to tell you guys a little bit about last year when I went to convention, and it was about a year after I had my ostomy surgery. And one of my biggest concerns having the surgery was that I needed to make sure that I was always around a glass of water. We're at this convention, I think it was at the gala that they have, which is like the pre-convention thing, this big hoorah. And it was after the dinner, after the celebration, and I realized there's no water anywhere in the building. Like, none of the staff can provide me with water. None of the water fountains are working. All of the machines, like the vending machines within the building, were like turned off and all this stuff. I'm trying to like plug them back in. I'm doing everything I can.
So I understand that there isn't any water, but again, are we going victim mentality or victor mentality? I always bring water with me, period, because I don't depend on anybody to provide for my needs but myself, Lance McGowan. I don't, if there's something I can buy, great. If there's something that's free, great. But guess what? Even that water is not good because a lot of it tastes like tap and probably has like chloride and fluoride and other stuff that's not good for you. So I bring my own water. Why? Because I know what's in it. I know it's reverse osmosis, or it's distilled, or it's alkaline, and I know I'm going to put some apple cider vinegar up in there, and I know I'm going to put some lemon oil because that's what makes it taste on point and help support me with my health. So I believe I have a victor mentality, not a victim mentality, even when it comes to things like water. And already, again, I see that coming up a lot in her speech.
And finally I told my upline, like, hey, I'm gonna just run across the street and see if there's like somewhere that I can just go purchase some water, because I really needed water. And I look around outside.
See, that's again coming down to proactiveness though. If you're drinking enough water and hydrating throughout the day, you shouldn't need water or feel like it if you've been properly hydrating throughout the day. Thirst is a sign of dehydration, okay? So you need to drink right when you wake up and either before and after your meals, at least 30 minutes, and have those set aside and prepared. And you're like, Lance, that's too much work. Who's going to have 5 empty kombucha bottles filled with apple cider vinegar and your special water and oil? Lance McGowan does, because I have a victory mentality, and I am not going to be a victim to anything that I have control over, which is what goes in my mouth and in my nose and on my skin. So if it's any one of those 3 areas, Lance McGowan is going to control those controllables, okay? Bottom line, and I'm not going to make any excuse. I'm going to own what's mine, and I'm not going to blame, shame, or whatever anybody else for those. Period. Now, that's different if I'm in a desert or something. Well, I'm in a desert. I live in Las Vegas. But I'm just saying, like...
And there's nothing like a convenience store type thing. There's a lot of like hotels and little shops and stuff like that. And across the street, there's a bar open. And I go in and I said, can I just get a glass of water? And he said, well, you have to order something. And I have celiac disease. So I was like, well, I can't eat here. Like, otherwise I would. I was like, totally, I'll freaking eat. I love food. So he was like, well, we have some ciders, like a gluten-free beer, which is kind of like, that's what that is. I was like, okay, like I'll order a cider and you can just give me all the water that I want.
So you're gonna order a beer to get some water? Oh, okay.
So I don't really care for cider very much. I'm pretty particular about it. I don't really like drinking a whole lot. I
don't drink alcohol either, so just saying.
Get like a couple of glasses of water and I drink about half of my cider and I'm done. I'm like, yeah, I'm satisfied, like I'm good.
Wait, so you're probably dehydrated and you're drinking beer. That's not a good idea, but okay, I mean, you know.
And then I walk out, and as I'm walking out, I see my upline and the rest of our team kind of walking towards me. And she grabs me and she was like, so-and-so, I'm not gonna name him, so-and-so said that you were drinking and that you were at the bar. And the only reason why that she knew that, which really ticked me off, is because I sent a picture of like the one person that, in my opinion, isn't like uptight. My cider was sitting on the bar and I took a picture and I just sent it to her because I thought it was kind of funny. Like, oh, the only way I can get some water is to get a cider. Apparently she had shown my upline that, and they just were like offended that I was out drinking. And I got judged really harshly for that, and nobody asked me what had actually happened. And what's more appalling to me is like, why do you care?
She sounds really complaining right now and emotional. I get we all have emotions. Now, I was feeling some type of way when, you know, some of her other comments earlier. But at the same time, part of that is understanding like what you are feeling, and that you can't always please people. And yeah, maybe people judge you or make sarcastic comments in your upline, or family or friends, or they test you, or they do some crazy stuff sometimes. So here I'm gonna mention another book, How to Solve Your People Problems. That book has changed my life. How to Solve Your People. Link will be in the description, because it talks about the reasonable person who focuses on truth, seeking understanding, as well as basically being their best self, right? They're focusing on, you know, reason. And then you have the unreasonable person, which focuses on winning, being right, you know, staging dramas, you know. So anyways, How to Solve Your People Problems. That book will be in the link in the description as well. So that way, already you've already heard a number of books. We got Jordan Belfort's sales training, so that resolved her issue or problem with not getting enough on that. We've talked about the E-Myth Revisited, which is why businesses fail, which she could definitely use and maybe help with that. How to solve your people problems, which talks about conflict resolution, not getting triggered, which it seems like she has been getting from some of the comments from other people, but she did not own the fact that she texted somebody and did drink alcohol as well in the form of a cider, so I don't see any personal responsibility taken, which the success principles talks about too, taking personal responsibility. That's 4 books right there. Now the question is, sometimes books are like kryptonite to people and they don't like to read, but I'm gonna tell you what, right now I read them, I've read them multiple times, and they have helped me with my personal development and journey to make sure I have the proper mindset and a mature mindset and a reasonable mindset when it comes to anything. No victim mentality here, none.
That bothered me so much. Like, I am an adult, I'm on vacation, believe it or not. Like, I paid for this. It's after the gala, which isn't the convention. Like, the gala was over and you knew that I needed water. So like, the whole thing to me felt so judgy, and it hurt me a lot. Like, it really upset me. And I think to me, like, that was the point where I really started to question everything.
I can understand that, right? You get triggered, somebody says something, you feel some type of way, you're ready to quit. But at the same time, we can't control what other people say. We can only control our own thoughts, words, and actions. So again, how to solve your people problems would definitely help with becoming more reasonable and not getting triggered as much, which means you have to basically put a box over your button getting pushed, which can be done. Again, that book is amazing. Link will be in the description. Seriously. Everyone should read it. I don't care if you're about to quit doTERRA, you're in doTERRA, you're in an anti-MLM with MLM, you work for yourself, you work for a corporation, executive, it don't matter. That book, I'm telling you, everyone should read that book.
Hey guys, thanks for watching that video. That was really hard to say, but I'm honestly not sure what to do with all this stuff. Like I said, I've got one friend that does my dreadlocks for me. She maintains them, and I'm going to give her a good deal of the ones that are unopened. But all of these bottles have been opened, and I'm not sure what to do with them. And if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I think that we, as a team, can come up with something pretty interesting. Bye.
You could actually go to a Facebook group or ask your upline or other people to basically, offer them on those platforms, either for sale or enough to cover shipping. There's lots of options that you can do. You just type in doTERRA groups, or email message your upline or something like that, or you could just give them away to people when you hear about a need, or you could use them yourself even if you're not doing the business, because your health will still continue, assuming we all have time on this earth. Well, your health is going to continue. You're going to have needs, you're going to have goals that you want, and the oils, it'll be nice to have something there. So to give them away is to completely, I know she doesn't want to have anything to do with it, but at the same time, your health is, there's going to be something that comes up, whether you need to maintain a quality of life or your quality of life dips, and the oils can help with something. I know she said it's not a first line of defense of oils, but at the same time, if you're being proactive with them, then there will always be something where you can improve upon. Thank you so much for watching this video and sticking all the way until the end. These panties are waiting for you. Wait, that sounds weird. This has a hole in it, actually. Do you see that? Look, don't ask me where I got these from, okay? Seriously, don't ask me. If you do, I know you watched it all the way to the end, and man, I should give you not these panties, but thank you so much for watching. Hopefully your panties did not get in a bunch. If you're a guy, that still applies. Make sure to hit the like button if you did, hit subscribe for future video updates, and most importantly, check out those links in the description below so you can continue to get your learn on, and I'll see you in the next video.